Collective, welcome back, Divine Essence Tarot. How you guys doing on this Friday afternoon? So today we're going to do a collective read for who has you on their mind, who's thinking of you right now, and what's going to be their next action. All right? And this is for any sign, all signs, okay? If it applies to you, beautiful. If it doesn't, let it fly, okay? This is a general reading. If you guys need a personal reading, you know how to find me in the description box. Okay. You can also hit me on Instagram and just DM me. You know, you can follow me there as well if you would like. All right, let's take a look, guys. Who's thinking about you right now? Who has you on their mind? Spirit guides, angels, divine ancestors, please show me. The Four of Wands. The Four of Wands. Tell me more, Spirit, about this Four of Wands. The Queen of Cups. Okay. So this is somebody who... The person who's thinking about you is someone who has a lot of love and actually affection for you. This is someone who could have water in their chart. They don't have to. But they have the energy of this Queen of Cups, meaning that they're very nurturing, very caring. This is how you'll know who it is. This is someone who is very affectionate, and they adored you, this person. They're thinking of you at this time. This is someone who made you very happy, and you felt that you could have something long-term, long-lasting with them. There was a lot of passion here with these wands. A lot of passion, a lot of energy that you guys shared together. It was, when you got together, it was celebration, it was fun times, it was a lot of laughter, a lot of excitement, and I feel like, you know, it was always a good time when you guys linked up. Now, let's see, is this someone that you're in connection with or not, or what? Like, let's see. Spirit, show me more about this connection. The Hangman. The Hangman. Tell me more about this Hangman. The Judgment reversed. Well, I'll tell you, somebody couldn't make a choice here when it comes to the connection and what you guys had. Somebody, either you or your person, wasn't able to buckle down. I just heard, and buckle down. I don't even say that. But somebody couldn't buckle down, and somebody couldn't decide because they were too much in their head. You see this, how the Hangman is, you know, somebody could have taken a time out, or you guys could be in a time out right now. The relationship could be on a pause. This connection could be on a pause with this person at this time. Nobody's making a move. You see how the Hangman has their hands behind their back, and they look quite comfortable, you know. The Hangman is in this position because he needs time to really sort out what this situation is, and he needs clarity. That's why he's hanging upside down like that. All right. At this time, you and your person are not, I feel, not in connection. And I feel that both of you are not willing at this time to make a move. But the person is thinking about you, just so you know. Your person is definitely, you know, still holds emotion for you. They think of the happy times, the good times, but they need understanding. I feel like you guys ended this connection and put it on pause in a way of where it was just open-ended. There was no closure. So both of you are kind of, if not confused, you are needing to maybe voice how you feel, and also, you know, come to some type of understanding on what happened. Because I feel like both of you just don't know what happened. So neither one of you are willing to, you know, make any move at this time. Okay. How does my collective feel about this person? How does my collective feel about this person? Let's see how you feel about them. You feel like this is a missed opportunity. At one point, you looked at them as a very high potential of having a solid relationship with, a new beginning in love, someone you could start over with. And you felt like you met them for a reason. At this time, it just looks like you could be feeling like it was a false start. Like what you thought it was maybe a facade, or it definitely wasn't, it didn't pan out the way you expected it to, for sure. And you could be feeling like this person, there's no way that you guys can reconnect. You could feel like your person is not interested. They're not into you anymore after this disconnect. Yeah, that you could feel like, and I can see that you're not communicating with this. The wand is upside down. There's no, and hold on, let me see more. Tell me more about the Ace of Wands. Oh, wow. But you're up in your head about it. You're up in your head about it. You stress out about it. You think about this person a lot, especially at night. You could be an air sign, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, but it shows that you could even be losing sleep, some of you. And you sit up at night and you think, and you just... The Nine of Swords is about being in despair. It's anxiety, it's mental anguish, it's stress, it's being in your head and not being able to get out. It's being in a very dark place. You could feel depressed about this, that it didn't work out. And I feel like it's not just the fact that you and this person didn't work out. I feel like, you see how there's 9 swords? It's not just one. So I feel like this is just, in your opinion, it's like one more failed relationship, because I feel very strongly that back to back to back, there's been failed relationships for you. Every person that you meet, it doesn't work out. And this is just one more. And now you're at the point where it's like, okay, like, when is someone actually going to stick? When am I going to be able to have my happily ever after? When am I going to be able to have this? This is what you want. This is what you actually would want. But, instead you keep having to walk away from people, or you keep being, you could even feel like I'm not going to say that. Let's look and see. Okay. But what I will say is you are very much stressed out over the fact that this person is no longer in your life, but it's not just them. It's back-to-back disappointment when it comes to love. Okay. Now, what is it that my collective wants? Because I was about to say how I feel, but I would rather pull cards so you guys can see for yourself. And you guys could tell me if it resonates or not. How does my collective feel about their person? Or you know what? What do they want from their person, rather? What do they want from this person? I want to see what you want. The Hierophant. You want something long term. To be honest, you do want, like, you could want something that is committed. You could want a marriage. You could want your person, your life partner. That's who the Hierophant is. They don't play games when it comes to love. They're in it for the long haul. Tell me more about this Hierophant. The Chariot reversed. This Chariot being reversed, I feel like even though that's what you want, at this time, you're not ready to move forward towards this person. That's the honest truth. That's what I see. Because the Chariot came reversed. You're not ready to reconnect with them. You're not ready to balance this out yet. Because you're still hurt. You're still hurt with this Nine of Swords. This is hurt. This is pain. You feel hurt over the fact that how things ended with this person. I feel like it ended really in a negative way. And it didn't have to go that way. And I feel like it really did. It did something to you. because this is not the first time that you've had things end bad or poorly. And now, what's the advice for my collective when it comes to this person and their connection? What's the advice for you? Oh, wow. The Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands is saying, for me, the Seven of Wands is all about, you see, these wands are all obstacles. These are problems, issues within the relationship, right? And this person has this wand up and they're very defensive. So I can see that this is where you are right now. You're very defensive, and the advice will be to put that wand down and not be so guarded. Like, release that. Tell me more about this Seven of Wands. This is Ace of Swords reversed. So this just shows that this popped out just to let me know again that you guys are not talking. But they're also saying at this time, maybe the best advice would be not to reach out to this person and try to talk to them, because we're going to see how this person is feeling. But they may not be, I'm getting that they might not be ready to talk to you. So that's why the advice is not to call them, not to text them, because they're not ready to talk to you, But I see how guarded you are and defensive and also angry, very angry and frustrated as well with this person and the connection and everything. Let's take a look at how does this person feel about my collective? How do they feel about them? Justice reversed. So they could feel like, again, things didn't end in a proper way where there was closure. There was no closure. So this person is looking at you like you were totally unfair. You didn't hear them out. I'm just giving you how they feel. You didn't hear them out. You didn't even try to understand their point of view. So they feel like justice was not served and they didn't get to speak their piece. They didn't get to tell how they feel. And they feel like you're just somebody who's almost impossible to have a balanced relationship with. You're impossible. This is coming from them, guys, not me. You're impossible to speak to. You're impossible to be balanced with, because you see how this character has on all red. You could, when you go to communicate, you could be someone who escalates and goes from 0 to 100 real quick. And instead of being it, and the other person is over there like, well, damn, I'm still at 0. What's going on? And so you might get loud, you might get angry, you might fly off the handle, and this person feels that you're kind of like an angry person. That I'm telling you what they see with all this red. They feel like you're angry, and they feel like you're damaged, and they feel like you have anger, but it's not even from them. They feel like you have resentment that's like, like from past relationships. That's how they're looking at you. And when they try to talk to you, that you are very deflective, and they feel like that's unfair. It's not justice for them, because how is it that you try to have a conversation, but it's only one-sided? Only one person is getting across how they feel. And then they shut down whatever the other person has to say. They talk over, for example, they might talk over them, or they hang up on them, or they start getting loud so the person can't even say what they need to say. All of these things are deflective, and all of these things scream toxic. And I feel like that's how your person is looking at you with this justice reverse. Tell me more about it, about the justice reverse. Yeah, look. This is the wounded warrior. So how they feel about you is they feel, because the wounded warrior is usually all about still wanting to fight for this. Even though you have issues and problems and arguments, still in it for in it to fight and make this work. This person who is thinking of you, even though they're a loving person, they're a caring person, they could have came in and shown you a lot of affection and happiness and joy and laughter. But at this point, because of what they have seen, and I'm giving you their perspective, they don't have any more fight in them for this. So I feel like you guys have been down this road over and over again. This is not the first time that you had an argument, and because it's 9 wands here, and you see this character's head is bandaged up. They are wounded from this, from the continuous fighting and arguing and clashing and bashing, and it's just very draining, I'm getting. And this person feels that you're toxic, and even though they have feelings for you and they have no ill will towards you, because they're the Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups never has any ill will. She means everybody well. Anybody that comes in contact with her, they feel love, they feel, respect and everything. But this person don't have any more to give to the connection with you, because they feel like it's just too draining, and it's not a fair, balanced relationship. It's very imbalanced, and the foundation is very rocky. Okay, what's going to be your person's next move when it comes to you? What's going to be, collective, your person's next move? Page of Swords. They may just watch you somehow online. They could have your social media. If they don't, there could be a way that they could watch or spy on you in some way. Maybe through a fake account or through someone else that knows you. You could have mutual friends. But if that's one scenario, that they could watch you online, because this is the card for that. But if it's not the case, then I just feel like they intend to, as far as their next action, they intend to keep that sword up, stay guarded when it comes to you. And they're actually prepared for when you come in wanting to fight again. They're going to be ready for you, because they feel like that's all you want to do is fight and argue. So now, they're going to come in as a page. Even though they're the queen, they feel like they're going to have to downgrade to the page, who is like the baby of the tarot. And when it comes to you, they're going to have to lower their frequency, and they're going to have to get with you when you come in and you try, because they do feel like you're coming. You see how this character is standing in a stance like, I'm getting ready for you. Like, I see you coming and I'm ready. When you come in, I'm going to be right here waiting for you. They feel like you will be reaching out to them, but they feel like it's going to be negative, and they have a negative outlook on you. So they are ready to fight. And if they have to, which they feel that they probably will, yeah, they're going to be ready to fight. So that just shows they don't have their next action is to just be ready for when you come in and wanting to fight again. Damn, that's not good, is it? Page of Swords. Tell me more about that, about the Page of Swords. And also, okay, this person has options as well. Okay, just so you know. So, they, at this time, they could be dating other people, clearly. They have other options. All right. And some of these options treat them better than you treated them. So they're going to look at, they're in this space right now of like weighing their options, seeing who can give them what they need spiritually, mentally, emotionally. That's who the Queen of Cups is. They need everything to be balanced out. Okay. And so they're going to pick the one who treats them the best and makes them feel the best. And you see they're down there weighing it out, because they're, meeting people and dating people and talking to people. But some of these people are snakes. You see that? Some of these people, there's crystals in this cup. There's a snake in this cup. So some of these people are spiritual like them. The Queen of Cups is very spiritual, very connected to the divine, connected to her, to just being able to read energy and emotions and feelings. And so there's people that are meeting this character that want long term. They definitely want the same thing that this person wants. Okay. So they're going to weigh it out. And as far as you, they're ready to fight, because they know that you're going to come. This is not me saying it. This is them. They know that you coming in with a fight, because that's what you've been showing them. So, okay. This is what I want to see. What was the obstacle in this relationship, Spirit? What was the obstacle? What was the obstacle here? Please show me. What was the problem in this relationship, in this connection with this person? The Moon reversed. Okay. Tell me more about the Moon. The Lovers reversed. You could be dealing with a Gemini collective, or you could be a Gemini yourself with the Lovers, or a Libra, okay? Or either you and your person could be a Libra, because that's, the Lovers is a card that represents Libra and Gemini, or just Gemini, either one. So it could be for both. But what I'm seeing, it came reversed. So the issue was that you guys, first of all, you had so much dysfunction, and so much, you could have been long distance from this person. You see how they're not connected. Their hands are not connected, and they're like, there's a distance between them. I feel like this is somebody who, it could have been a long distance relationship, or someone who, if it's not that you just, both of you felt, or somebody felt, that there was a disconnect here. Okay? Someone here felt, if not both of you, that there was too much distance, either physical distance or emotional distance. And either one of them can cause a relationship to crumble if you're not careful. So we asked, what was the obstacle? The obstacle could have been that you tried to make a long distance relationship work, but you guys didn't put the work in to actually make it work. And then the other scenario could be that you, I'm not saying you in particular, I'm just saying either one of you, either you or your person, didn't cultivate the relationship, meaning you didn't help it to grow properly. Okay? You didn't feed the relationship in the way of, allowing it to grow the way that it needed to. And you guys disconnected because there was dysfunction. Of course, there was confusion here because you were emotionally distant, and then there was the physical distance. There was dysfunction. There was confusion. There could have been trust issues. What else could have happened here with this Lovers reverse? There could have been, the communication as well could have been an issue. And it could have been all of these things. It could have been all of the above with this Lovers reversed. So this is the reason why this connection just, it did not grow. I feel like it stayed stagnant, and it got to a point where it just plateaued out, and it never got any further. Maybe you guys just kept it platonic, actually. It could be that, you tried to force love when it was more of a friendship, I just heard, and that it should have been more of just a friendship and platonic, but you guys tried to force a romantic connection, and so it didn't work because you tried to force it. You understand? You can't force that. Both of these characters on this Lovers card are naked, so it just also lets me know, it came reversed, so it lets me know that someone wasn't vulnerable enough. Somebody in this connection had their guard up. They didn't want to show how they truly felt about the other person out of fear. And they didn't want to show, their true self. So they could have came in wearing a mask. And that will never end well. When you come in not as yourself and you're trying to put on this facade that you're one way when you're really not, eventually that mask is going to fall off. And then that connection is going to fall apart because that person fell for the person they thought you were. Okay? They didn't know who you truly are. They knew what you showed them. You understand? So then as time goes on, you get so comfortable that that mask falls off and that person sees, wait a minute, they said they was about this and that, and they're showing me something totally different. Okay? So I feel like the alignment was off with you guys. So it could be that the words didn't match actions, and then also, again, someone wasn't vulnerable enough, and the other person was. The other person was reaching out and showing their true self, but one person here was not, and that caused dysfunction, toxicity, and what's going to grow in that type of environment. It's poison for a relationship. And now with this moon reversed, it caused anxiety. This connection could have caused either you or your person to feel anxious, feel like you're walking on eggshells, This is like extreme worry and extreme, like, it could also be fear for some of you. So this connect. Now, when I say fear, I mean that, for example, your person could have felt like they couldn't speak their mind, because if they did, they felt a bit fearful that if they said something that came off wrong to you, you know, then it would cause an argument. So this person they had to watch what they said. I just heard somebody had to watch what they said in this connection, because it would make the other person just go off. So someone was like, I just pictured like a landmine, you know, and the person's like tiptoeing through this landmine, because if they say the wrong thing, there's an explosion, right? And I feel like that's how this person, clearly that's how they felt. I just saw that in my head and my mind's eye. So yeah, I mean, this is the reason we asked, why did the relationship fall apart? No one, I mean, you could do that for a little while and tiptoe around a person and watch what you say and this and that, but how long is that really going to last? You have to be yourself. And I feel like somebody here felt like they couldn't be their self anymore. They just couldn't, they didn't feel free. They didn't feel comfortable, and they felt like it was just too much of a fight. And love shouldn't be a battle, right? And that song, Love is a Battlefield, right? It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. True love is not that. True love is not that. So yeah, that's why it didn't work. Now, let me cut this light on. So that's why it didn't work. And we're going to pull just one or two of these oracles over here. Okay? Let's pull a couple before I go, because I'm on my way out, guys. It's Friday night, honey. Friday night live, baby. I'm on my way out of here, but I just wanted to get on and give you guys something, because I know for a couple of days I wasn't on, so I wanted to give you guys something. All right, I wanted to give you a few readings, check in with you guys. Okay. All right, Spirit, show me what I need to see. Show me what I need to see. Desire, self-pleasure, sexual thoughts, intense feelings. So either you or your person is thinking of the times where you guys got intimate. All right, this is YouTube. I gotta watch it, but it seems like you guys got it in at some point, and they think about that, and they miss it. They miss it. They need it. They want it. They could be yearning for it, or you could be. Just flip the energy, but somebody here is pleasuring themselves to the thoughts. You could also have pictures or videos or something like that. But this is someone, if it's you, collective, thinking of your person, you really are highly attracted, highly, to this person. You know, you when you look at them, you want to jump their bones. Okay? You think that they're very sexy. There's something very appealing about them. Maybe their eyes, their lips could be something that really turns you on. Her eyes are really jumping out at me. So this person that you're thinking of, or your person, could have really nice eyes. Maybe the shape, or, you know, whatever, the color, whatever, what have you. But yeah, somebody a freak. Okay? And I ain't mad at it. But you're thinking about, either you're thinking of your person and how y'all used to get down, or they're thinking about it. And so they have not forgotten. It was memorable, obviously. Tell me more. Intimacy, passion, coming into union, chemistry, and missing you. That's what the card says. It says missing you. So you see how they are laying in each other's arms. This is something that you guys could have shared. There could have been times where you were laid up together, you know, embracing each other, not even having sex, just laying around, maybe watching movies, or just laying in bed, or laying on the couch, whatever, looking into each other's eyes. And I just feel like there was you both were attracted to each other. Okay, you and this person. And it says coming into union. So you guys could, listen, I'm not saying that it won't happen, but for right now, what we saw in the tarot is that you guys might not be coming into union right this moment, but at some point you might, you know, you may be coming into union down the road. And because the chemistry is so strong, you both miss each other. Okay, you do. You both miss each other. So this reading was about who's thinking of you. But I feel like in this case, you're both thinking of each other. Definitely. And there's things that they miss about you and you miss about them. All right. And they made you feel safe at some point. So I'm not saying that this person, it was all bad, the whole thing, the whole connection. No. In the beginning, it was great. It was like this. Okay. And I feel like you guys are both in each other's absence. You're thinking of those good times when you do think of this person. One more, Spirit. One more. Avoidance. This is avoidance. This is in hiding, right? It says feeling guilty, okay? And it says no communication, all right? So again, there's no communication, just like I said in the beginning with the tarot. This just confirms. These oracle cards just confirm what's going on. So you see how this character is hiding behind a leaf. Somebody, and both of you could just be, being very elusive, not reaching out to one another, not texting, not calling, definitely not hanging out, not meeting up. And you're both like, I feel that you're burying yourselves in work. Could be that both of you are doing that. Work or just other responsibilities. You could have children, both of you. You could have, family situations where you're busy. So you're using that time, the busyness, to just really distract yourself. I just heard and avoid thinking about this person, because it hurts when you think about them because you miss them. But you're not communicating with them, and I don't feel like you guys will be communicating anytime soon. But somebody feels guilty. Somebody feels bad for the way it ended, somebody feels bad for the way the other person looks at them. They could know that the other person views them in a negative light, for sure. And they feel bad because they don't want to be seen in that light. They want to be seen in a good light, a positive light. So they're in their feelings, but they are being very quiet, and they're not letting anybody know about it, okay? Either you or your person, whoever it fits for. Whoever, you could flip the energy. Guys, I'm going to get ready because I got to head out and, make my moves for the night, okay? Usually my son is home, but I'm right now home alone, and I am going to get ready to head out and meet my friends and have great times and just celebrate the weekend, because it was a busy week, okay? And I'm sure it was for you guys as well. Yeah, I'll be seeing you soon. And of course, don't forget to like the video. It always helps the channel. Helps me grow, helps the channel to grow. So don't just view, definitely look out for me and just like the video if it resonated. And you can also leave a comment. I always appreciate that. And I'll see you guys soon. Later.